What's your name and what's your podcast?
I am Kahlief Adams. I run the Spawn on Me podcast with myself and Sharif Jackson and Cicero Holmes. We run it out of our fictional place called Bricago, which is the mix of Brooklyn and Chicago, since that's where we kind of started the show. And we do the Spawn on Me podcast, which is a show that spotlights people of color in the industry. We talk about kind of all the things that gamers don't want to talk about, race, religion, all the kind of icky bits that folks don't want to dip their toes into. But we do that surrounding a conversation about games and spotlighting people. Yep.
So how many episodes are you at this point?
We just hit our 101st episode. Our 100th had Laura Hudson from formerly Off-World and now of Wired and stuff like that. So we had a great conversation with her. We were doing it weekly, so it's a long time. It's been over 2 years now, so we're just hitting that kind of stride.
So what are some things that you've improved on podcast-wise from when you started? Like any audio tics or show format or how you go about getting guests? What's gotten better? Yeah, assuming it has.
No, honestly, it's kind of twofold, right? So the first thing that we wanted to do was make sure that we had really good quality out of the bat. Because a lot of shows kind of don't care about their quality. They just want to have a long format conversation and don't actually say anything. We want to. It's interesting.
Kind of like this one thing.
No. But this has an actual or is a reason why it's happening. You actually asked questions that go towards an answer. A lot of times we'll have folks come on the show, and in the beginning we didn't really necessarily have questions for them. We kind of knew a topic that we wanted to talk to them about, but definitely wanted to kind of route them in a direction. Now we're doing something very specific where we're asking really pointed questions, not just about their game, but about them, which was kind of the foundation of the show anyway. But making sure that we kind of keep on topic with keeping things flowing in a way that doesn't keep us wandering and kind of meandering towards a conversation, but kind of getting you in and letting people kind of espouse and talk about why they do what they do.
How do you go about research before an interview?
Oh, so we definitely do a lot of research. It's funny because we kind of pride ourselves on kind of going back and seeing what folks have done. I'm a big Twitter head, so I'm always on Twitter looking up stuff.
Well, what's your Twitter?
At Kahjakins. That's KAHJAHKINS. That's my personal one, and at Spawn on Me is the one for the show. But what we do is we'll go back and see what games you've done, and we already know kind of why, before we even bring you on, what kind of stuff you've already done and how we're going to kind of attack the conversation. So we do a lot of that kind of research. We'll go back and see any old interviews that you've done and try not to ask those questions specifically because that's kind of boring. And just look at things from different angles and try to see what's the best way we can both spotlight you as a person because that's what we care about. Your game is kind of secondary to us in a little bit of ways because the way that people will kind of attach themselves to your game is through you. And we found that that's kind of the best way to kind of do that. And it's all to kind of find out what the internet knows about you so we can find out what that stuff means to us.
Yeah, so it's really cool that you have a podcast that focuses on kind of giving voices to groups of people that aren't as a smaller percentage of the game development community.
Yep.
How do you find going about getting guests? Do you have trouble reaching out and finding new people, or has that gotten easier over the podcast? Or
it's hard. Well, when we decided that we wanted to kind of do the show this way, the harder part was kind of finding the up-and-comers a little bit. Luckily, when I was back in New York, they had some stuff from the play testing. What is it? No, it's NYU had their stuff out there, so it was easy to kind of go to those events and hang out there and just ask people, do you want to be on the show? But now it's focused a little bit and shifted where we kind of, the pendulum has shifted towards kind of higher end guests for now to kind of build the audience. And then when folks who are kind of up and comers, they'll have people to kind of know who they are because we'd have grown at that point too. So we balance it out. We try to have up and comers and not high end, but more well known people on the show as well. So we balance it out pretty well.
And has there been kind of network of you have one guest on, let's say Sean Alexander Allen, and then he introduces you to, because he's big about similar just getting people in front of eyes that need it and stuff that. Does having guests like that help? Does he suddenly then bring 3 or 4 people that that want to be on your podcast?
The reason Spawn on Me is doing even half as well as it is because of Sean Alexander Allen. Sean babysat me and took me around to every event that he possibly could in the first year and kind of said, hey, they're doing something that no one else is doing. You should be listening to their show. You should be on their show. And that has helped immensely. There's been, honestly, no other person besides, there's been Sean Alexander Allen and Adam Sessler, who are the two folks who, again, on different sides of the spectrum, but believed in what we were doing and kind of shared us with their audiences and shared us with people that they trust. And then that's kind of helped us grow in ways that we didn't think we'd be growing this fast either. So it's been great to see that stuff happen, and it's been fun.
That's funny just because, I always think of your podcast as, so similar to just Sean Alexander Allen's outward thoughts.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
So it's cool that he has such a good impact on your podcast.
Yeah, Sean is a good person to know just in general, but especially if you're in the industry and you want to learn and ask people where to go, he has a lot of connections in that way, so it's awesome.
Especially if you want to get discovered, and he's really good about that. He's supporting podcasts Kickstarters based out of there's that one that was based out of I think Africa.
Yep. Oh yeah. Orion, the Legend of the Corey Odon, which is amazing. Yeah.
Cool. So you're based out of Portland.
Yep.
How is the Portland game scene? How has having that scene like that around you helped your podcast?
It's been interesting because I haven't had a chance to connect with them as much as I'd like. Pig Squad, Portland Indie Game Squad out there is huge. It's interesting because in Bend, Oregon, there's a lot of development from the Sony side of things as well. But we're still trying to figure out how to kind of crack that nut to try to figure out how to incorporate ourselves with that more. I know they had a game jam with Cartoon Network just recently as well. So it's been interesting to kind of see how we can kind of do that here in Portland. Well, not here, but in Portland. And my co-host back in Chicago, where they have Iron Galaxy and the rest of those cats out there. So trying to figure out where we can do that on all multiple ends. But Twitter has been the thing. Twitter's been the thing that's helped us move more than anything else. Just using the social media platforms to kind of get yourself out there and tell people that you're interested and that you have an understanding of what they're trying to do with their game, and then connect with them there, and then hopefully bring it back to a face-to-face thing like what we're doing here at GDC.
Cool. What's the food recommendations in Portland?
Oh, go to Potato Champion, which is a cart. They have these carts that are called basically a group of carts in Portland is called a pod, and pods are around Portland in multiple places. But they has a really good cart. It's called Potato Champion that has amazing poutine, and it was the first thing I had when I got to Portland at 4:00 in the morning, and it was one of the best things. It kind of sold me on moving to Portland. I was like, I'm getting poutine at 4:00 in the morning. This is dope.
That's bold, giving a poutine recommendation to a Canadian.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It was good. I don't know. I haven't had Canadian poutine from an actual poutineery.
I don't know what to.
But and even that word poutinery is a weird word.
I don't even. Is that right?
That's a real word.
Oh wow.
If you have multiple brands of poutine, it's a poutinery. I hate that word. It's a terrible word, but it's awesome as well. But yeah.
Cool. So thanks for being on the Question Bus.
Thank you so much, man. It's been so fun to have a chance to hang out with you for a little bit and chat with all your folks.
I think you're the first press guest.
Yes, I've set the standard now. So now all new press people, you have to do better than I did, and that's impossible.
Yeah. And is there anything else you want to say?
Just give a huge shout out to you. Thank you so much for having me on. You can definitely check out our stuff on iTunes and NPR One. And some other platforms as well. And definitely check out what we're doing. We're on the internet. You can find us all those places.
And the name of that show again is?
The Spawn on Me podcast.
How'd you get on NPR One? That sounds like a big move.
It was interesting. They had a new platform that they wanted to put out called NPR Earbud, where they were looking to curate podcasts and kind of move away a little bit, not move away, but kind of add to the stuff that they were already doing. And they had 8,000 submissions. And 200 of those submissions were the first batch in that grouping, and we were a part of that first 200. And that kind of shifted to them then saying, we have a mobile app that we want to have people on, and you can definitely be on that too. So they reached out to us and they grabbed us for that. So that was a good look for us and pretty awesome.
Cool. Well, thank you. Have a good GDC.
Thank you. You too, man.